Hello lads and lasses and welcome back to the channel. Now in today's video we are going to talk a bit more about transfers. You can see I'm doing it in the afternoon for a change. That's because every time I've done it like midday or in the morning, transfer news has actually come out during the day saying that a player's been sold to a different team. We'll get onto that in a minute though. Before that, if you are new around here, if you find yourself here quite often, do think about going down there, hit that subscribe button. Completely free to do. We are trying to hit 200 subscribers by the end of the year. While you're down there, may as well hit that like button as well. So yesterday we found out that Axel has been sold to Chelsea for £45 million. Now, in my video yesterday I said we were interested. Turns out a lot of that was agent-led talk. No indication that the club had actually inquired about the player, which is a shame. But that opens the door for other centre-backs, like the likes of Lacroix or St Just, which are both pacey centre-backs. It's whether or not they fit into the system of more of a ball player. Someone who does Jean-Clair to Debo. Now, I've spoke about him before. Speak about him again. He can play a centre-back. He plays on that right-hand side. He's another young centre-back that we could bring in. He's going to cost about the same, I'm pretty sure. Maybe a little bit less. But he's a player we should look into at least. Or, well, it's a player we've been linked with briefly, very briefly been linked with. But as I said, we can go for the likes of Lacroix, we can go for the likes of St Just, even if it is just a loan to buy, something along them lines. We need to be bringing in some right-sided centre-back. Now, one of those could be the likes of Ashley Phillips from Blackburn. We've been linked. I previously thought Tottenham had bought him. I had a look yesterday. A lot of people were saying Tottenham have already bought him. That's done and dusted, so I didn't include it in the video. However, it turns out Tottenham have backed off after learning the release clause of this player. So Blackburn have a release clause on that kicks in this week of just £2 million. They had already agreed £9 million with Tottenham. So Tottenham are now waiting for that release clause to kick in, and so is Newcastle. So they're both linked. It's going to be a race to who gets the player first, who the player actually wants to sign for. He's an 18-year-old. He looks good now. He's only going to look better in the future. He's, again, another right-sided centre-back. So it's going to be good to see if we can get him. I think it's someone, again, we should go for, especially for £2 million. We can't really lose in this scenario unless he is awful or is injury-prone. So we just got to kind of hope those two things don't happen. So everyone's favourite Southampton player, Timo Livramento. We've got more news about him. Fantastic. So apparently Newcastle's desire to sign this player hasn't completely died down, which is a surprise to hear because we've been hearing everything under the sun about this transfer. But our interest hasn't died down, and Southampton are trying to sign Max Aarons from Norwich City. So this could see a move for Tino to a different club. Hopefully Newcastle. I don't want to be paying the 40 mil, but the price is so high because of Chelsea's buyback and sell-on clauses they have in. They don't want those things to affect how much they actually get. So put a higher price, Southampton get more, but we get less for paying so much for a player. But people have said in the next season or two he's going to be playing in the England side probably. It's with the likes of Kieran Trippier nearing the end of his tenure. So it'll be interesting to see if we do actually sign him. Not for 40 mil. If it's for 40 mil, I'll cry. And I'll do it on camera for you. So Newcastle's interest in Zaniolo seems to be real. And apparently we're prepared to pay £35 million for the Italian. I don't think this isn't a good deal, in my opinion. He's played in 28 games last season, 13 in the Serie A, 10 in the Super League with Galatasaray. I did think he had a full season there, apparently not. He also played 3 Europa League games because he was sent off in one of them, which meant he had a 2-match suspension for 2 of the games, and he had a shoulder injury for 1. He played in the Turkey Cups and the Italian Cup. He played a game in each of them. And he doesn't have a lot of goal contributions to show for it. In those 5 competitions, he's got 7 goals, 4 assists, which is 11 goal contributions, which might seem actually okay. He also has 7 yellow cards though, and of course he has 2 red cards. He got 1 in the league in Turkey as well. So could that see him being sent off in the Premier League a lot? Probably, especially with new rules being introduced with managers. I think that's only going to get stricter on the team as well. But this player also plays an attacking midfielder role. He plays as an attacking midfielder, a second striker. He's played a little bit on the wing and also as the main striker. He's had 3 games as the centre forward. So it's another attacking midfielder to add to the 3 we've already got. I did a video earlier this afternoon talking about our midfielder dilemma, our midfield problem, because it's a good one. We've got 3 midfielders that could potentially start in one position. One of those 3 could start anywhere along the midfield. And that's not even thinking about the likes of Joe Willock and Sean Longstaff, who are coming back from injuries. I'm not sure if Longstaff's going to be back in time. I don't think Willock is. But Lewis Miley, Elliot Anderson, Joe Linton all play in that attacking midfield role. We've got enough left wingers that we don't have to ship them out there. Right wingers is something we are short of, but Zaniolo isn't a right winger. He is a midfielder, and an attacking one at that, showed by the fact he played 12 of those 28 games at attacking midfield, and then 9 as a second striker. Pretty much an attacking midfielder. So it's not a position that I think we need, and to spend 35 million on it, ridiculous. We've got Joe Linton, who's been playing great. We've got Elliot Anderson, who I think is going to have a breakout season. And then we've got Lewis Miley, who's going to rotate between each position throughout the entire season, especially in those cup games. So that is the transfer roundup for this video. A lot going on, a lot of pieces still needed added to the squad. Let me know what you think down below. And again, if you've made it this far in the video, please do think about subscribing. It is free. We are trying to hit 200 by the end of the year. I'll see you in the next video. In a bit, pal.